Innovation. My name is Keisha Siriboe. Apologies, I'm losing my voice. So the good news is you have a soft-spoken moderator. The bad news is that, I won't be able to be loud, so please bear with me. It is my pleasure and my honor to announce and introduce our panelists. I had the pleasure of speaking with all of them today and at other events. And one thing they've all agreed to do is to set time aside to open up for dialogue, because we all feel that the interaction with the audience and the ability to answer your questions is the best way we can take advantage of their time here today. So please get your questions ready. But without further ado, I'll like to introduce our panel. I will start with Miss Phoebe Tang. She is the founder of Healthy Cottage. And one fascinating thing about Phoebe is that she started her social enterprise, but her actual education credentials are in a completely different area. So for those of us who start in one direction and end up in a different one, there's hope that we can do something as great as you did. She is the founder of Healthy Cottage and has hired more than 100 disadvantaged men and women. And one important thing about her social enterprise is that it's community-based, and that the employees and the people who are a part of this social enterprise see themselves as owners. And so I think it's important that she mentioned that the vision of the social entrepreneurship doesn't end with her. She spreads it to the people who are on her team. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Alan Cheung. He is the managing director of Grandion Industrial Limited. He is a part of the social enterprise.
But actually, my company is just a private enterprise, but we incorporate a lot of the concept of the social enterprise into my business context. So today, I would like to share what I have did and what I'm going to do in the future with you.
Thank you so much for doing your introduction, because that just saved my voice. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, I am deeply appreciative of that. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce Mr. Howard Ling. In addition to all of his social enterprises, I tell him this all the time, he is the owner of Bijas, which is my go-to restaurant here at HKU. So on behalf of all of the students in this audience, thank you for providing us with such good, healthy food. We really love the Mindful Buffet and the lunch, grab-to-go lunch, the 25 Hong Kong dollar lunch. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. He does far more than that, but I'll get out of the way and allow the speakers to start. So without further ado, I'll hand the mic over to Ms. Phoebe Tang.
Thank you very much. First of all, it's nice to be back. I graduated in 2007 from the Faculty of Arts, double majoring in translation and comparative literature. As this morning the speaker talks about job quitting. So you need to quit your job to start your social enterprise. It doesn't happen to me. It didn't happen to me because I went straight into starting my own business even before I graduated. We have been talking about this idea of setting up our own social enterprise. By that time, we don't even have social enterprise, this buzzword in Hong Kong. We just want to run a project that could finance its own operation. But later on, it seems that maybe some government official overheard our conversation in Starbucks or Super Sandwich, and then they launched a new scheme called the Self-Reliance, Enhancing Self-Reliance Through District Partnership Scheme under the Home Affairs Bureau. So we think it is a great idea. So we write a proposal, we submit the proposal, and we got the money to start our own business. There were two friends and I worked together on this proposal. At the time, that was our last semester of our final year. So everybody is actually busy attending recruitment talks and also sending out CV to those big four or big companies. But we actually enjoy burying ourselves in the computer lab in KK Learn to write our proposal. That's how it all gets started. So some quick facts about my social enterprise. It's established in 2007, and we received a grant of 0.7 million from the government. So as seed money, although it's 0.7 million, but it's in fact not a lot, consider the level of rent in Hong Kong. And also you have to hire maybe one or a few full-time person or part-time person to run the business. And we focus on helping disadvantaged individuals to help them achieve greater economic reliance. And also, from these onwards, they could improve their quality of life and also of themselves and also of their own family. And we sell organic vegetables and healthy food in the community, and the operation is based in Kwai Tsing. Well, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Hong Kong, but Kwai Tsing is top 3 poorest district in Hong Kong, and is women-led. And the development of the business is actually driven by community needs. We really emphasize on addressing the community needs, because if we parachute ourselves into any community or into any neighborhood, doing what we want to do would be good for them. Eventually, it's not a sustainable way of running the business. So we need to understand the community, understand the needs, and also understand the situation so that we can do something to help the community grow. And to this day, we hired more than 100 disadvantaged men and women in our social enterprise. Of course, not at the same time, but we help these people by providing them employment opportunities. I think this part I really want to put some time in, because I think before we do any project or dive into any new ideas, it's very important. It's very important to do need assessment, and also we do a scoping exercise before we choose Kwai Tsing. So this is an overview of the situation of Kwai Tsing or in Hong Kong about the status of women. We targeted homemakers. Homemakers, housewife. We have, if you know, there are 0.7 homemakers in Hong Kong, and 95% of them are women aged between 40 and 59, and low education and skills level. And we have done a small survey before we launch our business. We found that most of them are participating in 3 kinds of job: catering, caring, and cleaning, and they earn a monthly income of less than $6,000. And also they marry in their early 20s and also have their first child in their late 20s. So comparatively speaking, their caring responsibility is not as intensive as in the early days. So this actually makes rooms for them to find a part-time job to make an income. So that's how we targeted this woman and to identify stakeholders if we want to run our business. So our mission statement is very simple: to help disadvantaged individuals by providing them job and training opportunity, PNP learning and mentoring circle, so that they could achieve a greater economic self-reliance and also improve their quality of life, and also as well as their family. So the core business is we sell healthy products. We have a new initiative called Veggie Recycle, and I will talk about that later. And we also sell organic local fresh produce, and we also produce corporate gift set. So this Veggie Recycling program is launched in 2010. Basically, well, as I said before, our social enterprise or our project really focused on identifying the community needs. It was our ladies who identified the needs in the community as they go shopping for food every day, and they realized that most of the shops in the wet market throw away the vegetables in a huge amount every day. So they talk to the shop one by one and try to collect their vegetables around 6 or 7 in the evening, and then they will take it back to the center or take it back to the shop and sort out all the rotten bits, and then they repackage them and sell them at a very low price to low-income family. So we have a system recruiting those low-income family for those who can buy the recycled vegetables from us. So this is a new initiative, and these are the types of consumables we collect every day from the markets. So this is a quick overview of social enterprise. So maybe now I can pass on to Ellen.
Actually, I apologize. How could I overlook Mr. Timothy Ma? I forgot to introduce our respondent. So as the humble moderator that I am, I want to stop and acknowledge Mr. Timothy Ma, who will serve as our respondent for this panel. He is the Executive Director of Project Flame at the City University of Hong Kong. Here's the most important thing I respect about Mr. Ma. He was the founding Executive Director of Senior Citizens Home Safety Association. In addition to all its mighty success, it was one of the first fully self-financed organizations. So he can hopefully share some wisdom on how we can be self-reliant and self-financed with our social enterprises. So thank you for being here.
Just finished the lunch. I think I better stand up to share with you. So first of all, I'm honored to be here. I know that Albert, you nominate me to speak here. I graduated here in 1990 from social sciences, majoring, yes, really? Thank you. Okay, I'm majoring in financial management. Originally, I would like to pursue my career as a chartered financial analyst. But sometimes, okay, life will be changed in 5 minutes. Okay, because the first offer that I have is that I need to work overseas in Japan for 3 years. But being the eldest son in the family, I would like to stay in Hong Kong because I born here, I educated here, and also more importantly, I would like to serve Hong Kong. So later on, I interviewed a company called Grandion, one of the famous retail apparel company in Hong Kong, as the management trainee. And the boss, during the interview, asked me, do you think that you can open a bank? Of course not. How can I open a bank? But on the contrary, if you join Grandion, I guarantee that you take 3 years' time. We will teach you everything about entrepreneurship. And later on, you will open up your business. And finally, in 1996, I founded my company, Grandion Industrial Limited. Okay? So today I would like to share my company's story with you to illustrate that even a private enterprise, if you incorporate the concept of the social enterprise, it still works. We still can pay the dividend to our shareholder, but at the same time, we can serve the community. We can create a social impact to the society too. So let's move on. Just like the title, blending the social enterprise with the traditional business. As mentioned, my business is traditional business, clothing, apparel. Do you think that this is a traditional business? Yes. I'm not agreed totally. I'm not agreed because if you do the business in a traditional way, this is the traditional business. But on the contrary, if you did it in an innovative way, there's no traditional business. The business will evolve day by day. So that even I am doing the apparel business, I can say in the past 19 years, our company grew double-digit, okay, every year, and make us to sustain even up to today. So the first part we're going to share is that I think most of you still remember the school motto of the Hong Kong U. Huh? Okay, just like this. Tell you the answer. That's why I turn the mic, okay? Here, 明德格物. Okay, my motto to doing things, okay, or my value is that 修身齊家治國平天下. Okay, equip yourself. Okay, and then take care of your family, build your business, and then contribute to the society. This is my motto to doing the business. Okay, so to sum up, so in our company, we did a lot of the caring on our people, our community. We can divide all this kind of activity in 5 categories. We say 5 Grandion's challenge. Oh, in Cantonese saying, GC. So it's just very simple. We are doing the business in a GC way. Okay, 自私 doing the business. Okay, so it can make your business more sustainable. So the first C is caring your people and do charity job to the NGO organization, coaching, okay, to your parent, and also to have some kind of cross-boundary collaboration. And finally, is very important, doing the business in a traditional business. As I mentioned, you need to do it in a very innovative way, so that in the industry, we are always came as the change maker. And this made me to win the Industrialist Award in 2011. So just like caring people, really traditional. Every day, our staff can have the lunch, okay, without MSG, okay, and provided by the good kitchen, one of the social enterprise, okay, and then that means 每一天我哋都係4餸1湯白飯任裝. So it's not just really simple, it's amazing. Every time I will sit over there and hear what my staff telling their story about the family issues. So in case they have some psychological problem, I can try to relieve them. And more important, they will talk about the business issue. Okay, so in that case, we can enhance the communication amongst our staff and also increase the revenue of the SE. Second, in the rooftop of our company, there's an organic farm. In this organic farm, we can, supposedly we would like to provide environmental friendly leisure environment to our staff. And at the same time, we would like to enhance bonding of the family, staff's family. Because during the Sunday and holiday, we can allow our staff to bring their family members, especially the kids, come to the company. Not only they know how their parents do company. It's okay, that's funny. Okay. And also, we will have as the mentors of some underprivileged family. And also we will donate, because we will leverage our competence, because we are producing the clothes. Every month, every week, we donate a lot of the uniforms to some schools. For example, some school in the village or underdeveloped area in China, Jingsang Xuyuan, some NGO, even SE, we will donate the clothes for that as a uniform. And also we will purchase the festival food from the social enterprise. Not only we purchase, we will promote it to our trading partner. And some of the time, we will have some kind of the talk in the university, secondary school, in order to promote the SE concept, as well as to promote our younger generation to enter the industrial sector. Nowadays, all we stress is only to promote our youngster to enter the financial sector or servicing sector, or now start up. Don't think it's so easy to have to start up. Yeah. And also we have to be the mentor of some NGO and also we will have some kind of to be the mentor of the Hong Kong designer and also the entrepreneur, because we would like to pass our experience to help them to build up their business. So the final one we would like to share is that in order to make our business more sustainable, we would like to open a new factory in Hong Kong. Because after we have the connection with the new immigrant, okay, and also we have the connection with the designer in Hong Kong, we think that there's a competitive edge to open up a new factory in Hong Kong. So in this factory, called the TML project, TML stands for To Make Locally. It is an industrial development project. It consists of 4 parts. One on designs, and also the low carbon footprint production flow, 3D and digital printing, and O2O platform. And it is located at the Cheung, a newly built industrial building. And most of people think that to work in the industrial sector, you need to go to your office at a very old-fashioned industrial building. But nowadays, it's totally different. Yeah. The first part is the Fast Fashion Entrepreneurs Center. So right now, the area of this incubation center is 16 square feet, and the capacity is that we will accommodate 30 to 40 young designers. They are the graduates from the design school or some entrepreneur. We are not just provide them the space, we will provide the mentor one by one, okay, one-to-one basis, so that we would like to transfer our experience to make their design into the commercial product. So we think this project will unleash the talents of the young designer as well as foster the entrepreneurship in the society. Second, we will really open a new production line in Hong Kong. Some people may argue that where you can hire the workers. Actually, some of the workers, was early retired. Because when in the 1970s, when most of the factory moved back to the China, but they need to take care of their kids so that they stay in Hong Kong. But nowadays, their kids grow up, so they can free up and then work in our factory. And another source of the workers come from the new immigrants from China. So in this way, we can provide a job opportunity to the society, and also we will adopt the no carbon footprint production. And more importantly, if we do not do this project right now, 10 years, the handicraft and also the technique in the manufacturing of the apparel will disappear. Yeah. And third, in order to sustain the business model, we need to incorporate some kind of the technology so that we import some digital machines from Israel and also some eco-friendly drying machine. So in this way, we can shorten the traditional production lead time from 7 days for a sample to 1 to 2 minutes. And in this way, we can make our customer to have a quick response to the marketplace. And finally, we can provide a value-added service to our customer because our customer can place less order as the test order to the market, so that the market risk and also their inventory cost will be lowered. And finally, all the machines are eco-friendly. So this is the real case. You can see how fast we can produce. Yeah, it's finished, almost, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes. This is the real case. Just take 1 day from design to the real products. Yeah. So finally, we have a wholesale center. So this is CSV. I think maybe later on we share with the audience. Okay, thank you. Okay.
I just started. So first of all, thanks all the customers of Bijas here. I'm glad to be enjoying a little bit of home court advantage. The reason why I want to thank all the customers of Bijas because that is also the philosophy of running all kinds of social enterprises under my management. The first thing I always share with my colleagues is that the ultimate bosses of any social enterprise are truly customers. So without your input, without your support, how can we get the salary? How can we get the money for the rental? So that is I would say, the common mindset that has been ingrained in all the colleagues of my social enterprises. I started the first social enterprises in Cheung. It's called Harvester, 11 years ago. And the system that you saw upstairs, the pay-by-weight system, and the fee refill of the congee and the soup, actually it started 11 years ago. But it becomes quite a popular concept until I come to Hong Kong U to start the system. And then all the reporters will say, oh, this is a brilliant system. And then, oh, how do you come up with that? I said, that is 11 years ago. So you see that putting the right things in the right place is very important. But back in the harvester time, I was stuck in the Sheung dead corner. So I think that period of time is really important to me because that is how I train my survival skill in a dead end corner of a Sheung. Because I still remember that the first day I started my business, traditional business, and the restaurants, again, is a traditional business that has been in Hong Kong for many, many years. So I like the topic of this discussion is how you blend the traditional business elements into social enterprises, because this is truly the DNA of any social enterprise. We need to know the reasons of their existing. Those traditional businesses have been existed for many reasons. And this reason not only gives us insights of why they are still here, and it gives us also rooms to think about whether we can do better. Or you can do some analogies like logistic business. I still remember that 5 to 10 years ago in Cheung Road, you only see the yellow trucks or the white and black trucks for logistic, right? But nowadays, if you look at Cheung Road, all the trucks are mostly black in color. So why this competitor can come to the place in such a competitive world. And just like restaurant business, when I got into this, I asked myself, is there still room that I can innovate? Is there still things that I can do better? And finally, the pay-by-weight system comes to my mind simply because of the freedom of choice. Sometimes when you sit in the restaurants, when you close your eyes, you hear lots of noises. When you hear those noises, you sometimes wonder whether the best service or the best product really come from the enjoyment of the decorations or the enjoyment of the price. And then you have an insight of, oh, even though you are in the Michelin 3-star restaurant, you still hear complaints from customers. Even though you're sitting in a 30 million decorations of restaurant, you still hear complaints. So what's the reason? The reason is simply because they don't have the freedom of choice and freedom of pricing. So that's why I come up with a system that you can choose your own food, you can choose your own price, you can choose your own weight. So when you give your customers that freedom of choice, that satisfaction comes into place. And this concept is so important because I share one slide with you. These are all the social enterprises I started in the past 5 years. All I do with them is really simple. I help them to write the proposal, get the funding, and then I help them to do recruitment. So these are the only 3 things I help them to do. First, get the funding, write the proposal, and then do the recruitment. And I sit in every single interview when they hire the managers and the entrepreneurs. And this freedom of choice, again, backs to this social enterprise management. It's the same. It's the same formula. I told them, I can get you the funding, but I can't get you the business sustainability. So the only way I can get you business sustainability is that you have to find the right people in your right business. And how can you encourage them to do so well and do so good is that they must have ownership. And you have to look into their eyes and see that passions, and you know that you have the right people. It's not just about resume, it's not about CV, it's not about academic performance. Sometimes don't even look at them. I just say that you come over, you tell me 3 reasons why you are here. And that 3 reasons sometimes just cost them 3 minutes, and then they get a job. And then the rest relies on time. I'm a true believer on time will tell. Time will tell has helped me so much in all social business. I said, no matter how you do well, time will always tell. And that helps me to manage all the social business in the sector. Of course, I started another business, it's called Happy Veggies, simply because of the insights of seeing the disadvantages and advantages. And sometimes, how do you define disadvantages? And how do you define advantages? It's relativity. It's like Einstein's formula of relative formula. So if you can find a business that can really use the advantages rather than the disadvantages, again, you have the formula. And that freedom of choice and that turning advantages into disadvantages and disadvantages into advantages, when you start having that kind of feeling, you develop a sense that is not just a business sense. Actually, it's a natural sense. And that natural sense, sometimes I encourage every one of you to try it. Sometimes just close your eyes. Sometimes we open our eyes too much. And we started to perceive information by just one channel. And when you start to close your eyes and you listen to your business, sometimes you can listen to the pulse of the business and find out that what is wrong and what is right for your business. And that is very important. And for all the social business that I do, sometimes I just sit in the business. Some of them are retail business. Some of them are, just mobile apps business. I just sit in the office. Sometimes I just close my eyes and then I listen. I said, what's going on? Sometimes you hear people talking. Sometimes you hear, people with the ring of the phones ringing. Maybe something just abnormal or normal. But in that quite certain instant, sometimes you will hear something that it just go unnoticed. That is something that I do. That is the insight I do with one social enterprise with autistic children. When I first interviewed them, I tried to develop a bakery business for the autistic children. In the first interview, they cannot keep eye contact with you. They keep looking around and trying not to pay attention to your saying. And then all of a sudden you feel that they are not respecting you, right? Or they are just not paying attention. And actually it's not. And I asked them, I said, why you don't look at me? Of course, they don't have the answer. But fortunately, I found a book. It's called The Reason I Jump. It's written by a Japanese autistic child in Japan. And he explained the reasons why he cannot keep eye eye contact to you is that his eye actually is following voices of the room. That's why, for example, when he hears voices, 10 voices in here, he will put the eyes like this, 10 voices here and the eyes like this. Actually, he is paying attention, but he is just paying attention to all voices in the room. And voices cannot be seen. So again, this is the insight I want to share with you. When you blend traditional business with social business, try to close your eyes and feel it. It's the feeling that gets you the motivations. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
I would like to invite Mr. Timothy to the stage to give us his wisdom on our panel.
Thank you. Thank you for the three very distinguished speakers. And I think we all have some Hong Kong U affiliation because you guys, you're studying here, you graduate here, and you have the business here. And for me, I teach fundraising in Hong Kong U. So remember to enroll. It will be coming in 2016. Okay. Okay. Because it will be my third time of teaching. Well, I think you have heard from them that they have a lot of very wonderful points to remind us. But also, I would like to challenge you something. I think they said a very good thing about talking about commonalities. Very importantly, commonalities. Commonality comes from the locality first, because we are all in Hong Kong. We want to do something for Hong Kong. We want to care about the people that in need in Hong Kong. So I think it's very important commonalities. And then by that commonality, we build our values. We want to do something good for the people here. We want to do something unique. And you can see that they pick up the right market, the trendy market, like the green, the veggie, the recycled thing, and also, well, you can see how actually he's a very, very wonderful cigar in Hong Kong, He has been running a chocolate restaurant at the pier, at the Fleet Street. But already changed to other business. So I think they really pick up the right market. They pick up the needy people, and they really want to do something. And then you can see that, as I said, common values that although they seem involved in the traditional business, but they find a new value, new meaning from the traditional business. So I think among you, if you really want to do something innovative, start from the tradition. Start from the very core value that very critical and important to us. So I would like to challenge Alan. Your company seems doing a lot of things about 無正業, because you are fashion manufacturing, but you're now running so-called co-working space, running the rooftop garden, and even introducing the digital printing. What actually you are going to do?
So I don't agree. It's a 不務正業. Okay, it's a forward-looking. Yeah. Because nowadays in doing the traditional business, especially the apparel clothing industry in China, is really a difficult task. We face labor problem, rent appreciation of renminbi, a lot of the red tapes from the Chinese government. So we always would like to develop some new products, new service to satisfy the needs of our customer. As all of our customers are the retailer, okay, they need to quick response to the market. So I engineer my company process to a very quick one, okay. So that's why we need to have our own designer, so that we can provide a design to our customer. So we need to adopt the automated machines so that we can produce very fast on one hand, but on the other hand, we produce in an eco-friendly way. So in this way, we earn the order from the customer. Basically, you may see it is 不務正業, but I can tell you, our company still keep growing.
So as an innovation company, you have to always 不務正業 like me. Okay. Okay, how about Phoebe? You're talking about your ladies, the poorest lady in Cheung, right? But after your years, do you think some of the rich people come up from your poor ladies now?
Not really. Well, to be honest, because our business is small, and also, they are still having a big chunk of caregiving responsibility on them. So they cannot really participate in a full-time job or very high-earning job. So what we can provide to them is a support system, as well as some pocket money, so that they can finance their kids' tuition fee or playgroup fee and sort of thing. But at the same time, in addition to job opportunity we provide to them, we really work on the individuals, not only providing a job or an income, but also a perspective of how they could improve themselves along the way. I think this is the famous saying of teaching people how to make the net instead of like providing an income for them. So I hope even they finish up with us, they could take this with them and continue to do greater things in life.
That is to sustain your impact on them. So Howard, you introduced the first ever restaurant pricing system in Hong Kong. That eat as you pay, or pay as you eat, and another pay as you dump. Because so many people, they didn't finish all, and then you charge them by weight. No, you don't penalize them. Then what is the impact?
We don't penalize them because they respect the food so much. And then sometimes, even though there's a little waste, we put them into decompose. And then we have the rooftop garden run by the Hong Kong U students in the next to surrounding building, like the HSBC upstairs. So that is how we treasure the trust system a lot. And again, this is just like the management of Bijas. Sometimes when you go over there, you saw Thomas more often rather than me. When you go to Happy Veggies, you see Jackie more often than me. When you go to different social enterprises, I can know a long list of their names, but without me. So I guess the beauty of having the right people in the right business is very important. So most of the time, I just spend time, having breakfast or lunch or dinner with them.
Well, you're going to have breakfast with me. I'm looking for some job. I already quit my job. I already quit my job as the CEO of the Ping An Zhong 3 years ago, so I'm now available. Okay, now I would like to open the floor to all of you. Anyone would like to ask them question or ask me question? Yes, please. Can you speak louder so I don't need to drum to you? Yes.
Good afternoon, I'm Timothy.
You're Timothy. Me
yes,
too.
Timothy.
Me too.
Yeah, hello. I'm
Yes.
Hong Kong U alumni. Thank you for great and inspiring sharing this afternoon for all of you. I have one question. When you start up a social enterprise, what you first consider about for a business opportunity first, or want to solve the social issue first? For example, Phoebe, you're a social enterprise. You are going to help some underprivileged ladies and reduce some food wastage, or consider this have some business potential and you can help the people. What you are going to prioritize first? Yeah, when you go to start up the business. Thank you.
Thank you.
For me, when we start off the business, what we think about is we identify social issues. We see social problems. So we want to find an innovative way or non-traditional way in solving that problem. Because back in 2007, almost 8 or 9 years ago, this social enterprise concept doesn't really come into being, or even, when people have problems, they just go to social welfare department or talk to the NGO to get free services. But we think this is not a sustainable way of dealing with social issue. That's how we, identify the social problem, try to scope it, and also through need assessment to understand the community. If we really want to work with the woman, we need to understand the situation before we do something. So we found that when we first work with those, one of those poorest ladies in the district, they don't have the motivation to work. So when they see us, they say, I don't really want to work. I can get money from the government, or I can live on my 老公嘅家用. I'm fine with that. So it's a mindset change that is really making the difference in our business. Because as our moderator introduced us, It's not about me having one great idea to start a business, but also how we could share the vision, share the values with the whole team to make the business sustainable in the long run. Well, that's what I would consider when we start off the business.
Social enterprise.
Okay. So social enterprise, when you get started, I think the first thing you need to do is really to make yourself less busy. Because when you are very, very busy, it's very difficult. So by making yourself less busy, then you will start to have more delegations, more management by the right people. And then you try to, with that practice, you started to have many good friends who are always ready to write you checks and who always come to you and ask for opportunities. And actually, I'm surrounded by all those good friends that always come to me and say, oh, is there any new enterprise idea now? Is there any new social concept now? So that is the first idea. And back to your question about whether it's social or business first, I always consider business first. Because after all, social enterprise is the business. But after that business insight, you got to know which unit or which capacity that can, as I mentioned before, how to turn the disadvantages into advantages. And that's always the beauty of the business, because actually you are unleashing, you are discovering the potential of some workforce that has never been discovered before. So it's like a discovery, and you feel so much excited and you want to try it, and you will try it with your business. And all I say, social enterprise is more like a showroom, it's a showcase. Once you make one example in Hong Kong, every small and medium enterprises will follow. And sooner or later, big corporations will follow. Because they will start talking your language, saying that, oh, now the deaf is very good for F&B business. Or now the mentally disabled is very good for bakery business. You know, they are talking about your languages. And then you start to feel that now you're on the right track.
Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm not a social enterprise, so that I will think business first. But every business strategies, okay, in our company case, okay, we will think about whether we can incorporate some social impact in the business process, okay, without increasing our cost. That means, on the contrary, you create a social benefit without sacrificing your profit. So that is the creating social value advocated by the Michael Porter in 2011 in the Harvard Business Review. That is the last part I would like to share with you. Okay, thank you.
Timothy, if you don't mind, you're doing such a great job because I'm losing my voice, so I appreciate him helping with the question and answer section. I have a question that I'd like to ask, and it's still open to the audience for more questions. Phoebe, you mentioned something about mindset, and for people in the audience and myself who are very passionate about working with marginalized populations or people who are very used to seeing themselves in one light, normally from the position of the disadvantaged or from the position of the powerless. One thing I highly respect about Bijas is that the employees in that restaurant see themselves as employees. Never once has anyone with special needs come across as anything other than a fully capable employee. And so they see themselves as empowered. But that has to be a transition. So how do you bring about that change in the people that you are working with?
So for me, when I do this empowerment to the employees, I usually ask them the first questions during the interview. I said, when you go home today, you tell your families why I hire you. If you tell your families that the reason I hire you because this is a social enterprise, then I said you're wrong. So tell your parents that I hire you because your employer identified the strengths in you. So please come to work and develop your strengths, and that's it. And then they once they have that belief, every day they are on stage, and they don't want to let you down, and they don't want to let them down. So that is the power of empowerment.
Well, for me, I think I'm very lucky because the ladies I work with are all very loving and caring. I think, to really ignite the fire in them, so the first thing to do is to help them develop an attachment to the business itself. By developing an attachment is not really an employment, but also having them to connect it to the heart of the business. And we also welcome them to bring with them during the weekends to the shop with their kids, so that their kids or even their partners, their husband, know what they are doing during weekdays. I think it's very difficult to say, we have a model, how do we develop the attachment? But it's personal touch, and also, be very empathetic about their situation, be very understanding. So, this is how we establish the relationship and try to change the mindset along the way as we work along.
Okay, this is Michael. So I'm a year 2 accounting and finance student. So I have one question that when compared to the competitors of your industries who might actually resort to price advantage or heavy publication, so you might actually choose a social different way. Like you may offer some more empowering opportunities to your staff, or perhaps some more choices for your customers. So, but in the face of Hong Kong as such a practical city where people are picking like pricey products, the right deals. So how do you also cultivate the customers? How to cultivate that kind of consciousness among your customers so that they would actually pick the product that you're offering as well? Like when the others are actually selling like cheaper products or the other experience. Thank you.
So just I mentioned that because you can see that we incorporate a lot of the, I can say, happiness in our workplace, okay? So that I trust that our staff can deliver the very good service and product to our customer, which can differentiate us from the competitors on one hand. And also because media nowadays is very powerful. What we need, actually, you can browse from the Googles. So what things you have to do, what bad things you have to do, I think your customer will know more than you. So according to my experience, okay, some of our customer really advise us that why I choose you be my partner is because you are a social responsible company. So I think it helps. Okay.
Well, about my business, so it's about organic vegetables and healthy products. I think one thing that we need to educate our customer is that we need to train our staff to be very knowledgeable, because we are selling healthy products and organic vegetables. So when they come to us, they expect it, we tell them something about all the source or where the vegetables come from and how this healthy product is going to help them in different ways. So I think it's very important to get our staff really knowledgeable so that they can build up a certain amount or level of trust between their customers so that they will come back again and again.
I think the operational excellence is key to running social business, because that will gain trust and respect from your customers. One of the example of our happy Veggies, we are happy not just because of this social aspect. We are happy because we are ranked #1 in TripAdvisor as the best vegetarian restaurant in Hong Kong. So once you have that kind of ranking, when you look at all the food comments from the commentators in the TripAdvisor, you started to wonder, this social edge will only get you that far, but it won't get you too far. But if you want to get further, you really need that operational excellence to impress your customers. Because at the end of the day, as I told you, they are the ultimate bosses. Sometimes they come over, they don't even realize whether you are social enterprise or not. They just come for food, they just come for drinks. So that insight will always, that's why I said social aspect has a competitive edge only if you can achieve operational excellence and business excellence in the first place. And that will gain, and that will make your business become really competitive in the long run, because that social aspect cannot be copied. And you will always be a pioneer advantage rather than pioneer risk for running a social enterprise.
Thank you.
story of how you actually chose the social enterprise path, but I'm very curious about Mr. Howard. How do you come to this path? From your talks, I see different views there, because one view is you care about people, obviously people saw, and you want to value their strengths and everything. But also there's the other side of the story when you are like, oh, I actually focus on the business when it's making good impact to the customers, then I profit, all the other people profit as well. So I'm just very curious, what's the story behind it?
Yeah, thank you for your question, because that is always the question my parents and my wife also ask. Right, truly, because they thought I'm having a split personality. And I can tell you that sometimes I wonder whether I have that split personality or not. Because on one hand, I'm really, really tough on business. And I always give these pressures to my top management. Because whenever I meet them, sometimes they are scared of me. But you will be wondering, oh, how they could be scared of this kind of such a caring person, right? but actually, to the business, I'm not very caring. Sometimes I tell them, I said, if you run the business wrong, all the disadvantaged group, what will they say? They will say, I'm sorry, Howard, the business is out, and this business is out of business because it must be us, dragging down your business. We are having lots of responsibilities. So constantly, I put so much pressures on my top management and to make sure that the business sustainability can achieve. And then on the other side of my personality, I just discovered the talents of those underprivileged groups on a fair deal basis. Actually, I'm not discounting any social aspect at all. When I hire them, sometimes when they even cannot perform in my social enterprise, I need to fire them, I'm sorry to say. But if I don't fire them, actually it's not to the disadvantages to them, because they need to have outplacement, not just placement in social enterprise in the long run. My goal to them is that they can be properly employed in the proper open market, not just social enterprise market. And that is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is really to have the whole society and having social enterprise label not being existed in this country or in this world. And then our job is done.
We still have 8 minutes, so we can take a few more questions. I see 1, 2, 3. So we'll go in that order. Sir, I saw your hand first.
Actually, I'm Justin, a media worker. And my question is just a follow-up from the previous one. The previous one is about how to do the values to the customers. But my concern is how could you do some impact on your peers or on the industry? Because just like this summit, you just face the youngsters or the future entrepreneurs, but the present entrepreneurs is hard to change, right? So how would you value your value as a social entrepreneurs to the industry or to the business society? Yeah, that is a general question.
Can we take the second question?
Sure. Hi, I'm Takuro. I'm teaching Japanese language at Hong Kong U, and this is Dreamcatchers, and I often wonder how younger people can have dreams. If they don't have dreams, they don't catch the dreams. And then, because I'm saying this because teaching Japanese language, so this is a tool of communication. I often ask questions like, "What's your future dream?" And they say, "I've never thought about it. What would you like to be? Rich, or gain money, but what would you like to do? I don't know." So, I wonder, how would you generate younger generation, or motivate younger generation to be something, or to do do something, to achieve something? That's my question.
Thank you. And the last question, and then we can end it with your answer.
Right, I'm Vivian Wong, very old alumni, also Xinjiang. And the question is, how do you scale up? I noticed that Phoebe was doing very well. There are many other poorer communities that require such work. So are you planning to scale up? And that applies to the other two as well, in your field. Mr. Howard, how would you scale up, all your very valuable projects? And definitely, Alan, how you scale up in your field as well.
So there's 3 questions.
Okay, regarding Vivian's question about scale up, we are actually having this problem, especially with organic vegetables, because we are using Hong Kong local produce. And in Hong Kong, especially in summer, you can only get cucumbers, dong gua, all sorts of gua in Hong Kong, but no choice. If you're an organic vegetables person, so you cannot be very picky. Well, you need to eat what comes out of the ground. So this is really important. And also what we are facing is, so we have been talking to suppliers from mainland China, but we refuse to do that because we are not sure about the standard. So to keep our customer, well, as Howard said, we need to keep the operational excellence to a certain high level, to a very good standard, so that our customer will keep coming back. So this is one of the challenges we are facing. So that's why, as you see from my presentation or sharing, that you see that we are trying to venture into other area to expand the spectrum of our business so that we can make the whole business sustainable. Of course, as you see, the Hong Kong government is looking at agricultural policy and trying to set up an 農業園 or a testing ground for agriculture in Hong Kong. So we see this as an opportunity. So we'll see how things go. And regarding the dream issue, I don't really like the word dream because it sounds, it's such a big word. So when I talk to young people, maybe you can have some goals instead of dream. Well, try to break down your dream into several small and operational, manageable goals. And then when you try to get to some mini goals, and then you will be able to get to big. Okay, it comes back. The goals come back, the dreams come back. I think Hong Kong young people need more encouragement. We always said we are in a lost generation. So I think as an educator and also, apart from my social enterprise business, I'm also very active in youth work. So helping young people to find their goals and find what they are passionate about is really important so that they will have the energy to do bigger things in life.
Okay, regarding the dream, for me, I will not catch the dream. I would like to create a dream rather than catch the dream. I think maybe this is the phenomenon of the most youngsters nowadays in Hong Kong. They're just asking about what opportunities we have. But do you think about how can you create the opportunity by yourself? This is the answer I give to you. So normally when I do the business or on my life journey, I have a lot of the dreams. And most of the dreams are created by ourselves. And then we think big, and then just like what Phoebe said, add small, gradually to achieve the goal. And it is my philosophy in my life journey and also my doing the business. Regarding the scale up of the business, because every business right now we are launching in the market, before that we did the market research. So we think that we can scale up the business, otherwise we will not launch this marketplace. For our Made in Hong Kong project, basically nowadays, over every day, basically we receive over 100 inquiries about the uniform, corporate t-shirt. Nowadays, no company can satisfy their needs. And also they cost very much, over $200 per piece. But now we are offering just $70, $80, very competitive indeed. And also because we are running the manufacturing company in China, just in case there's a large order, that huge order to us, that means we can outsource some of the procedures to our China factory and partially produced in Hong Kong so as to compete the large order, so that our business model can be scaled up. And another market we are going to enter is the school uniform. Have you think about that? I think most of us had the kids. Do you think that the school uniform of your kid are almost the same as ours 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Same white shirt, easy to get dirty, easy to have the wrinkle. So nowadays, we import some function into the school uniform. We provide wrinkle-free techniques so that no iron is needed. We adopt some kinds of anti-grease, okay? That means the clothes is not easy to get dirty. It can save the water itself. So all this, okay, we input the innovation into the products, okay? So I think our business can be scaled up finally, yeah. And so can I answer your question? Yeah, sure.
So your questions is about social enterprise to the normal enterprise market, right? So as I mentioned, social enterprise can be a showcase, like Happy Veggies. Once we started, now Poker Cafe, Cafe Decoro, they send their HR managers over and to get our series of the hearing impaired. So that is already an impact. And now they end up hiring 50 of them rather than just 60 of them that we are hiring. So that is already an impact. And when we run the mobile apps business, we hired a paraplegic. We train them to be a programmer. And we write the articles in the newspaper, and we finally get the attention of Microsoft, and now they hire 2 of them. So that is the impact that we can keep rippling in the long run. For the dreams, I like that questions because Albert and I actually met because of the Hong Kong U practicum. We have lots of opportunity to bring our undergraduates and graduates to have experience to being exposed to social enterprise industries. And I even have the Faculty of Accountancy in CTU that we have run the social enterprise, we call it as a calculations program. We bring those P&L of social enterprise that fail to all those accounting students to study why they fail and to study the patterns and to come up with the golden ratios so that they got at least a flavor of social enterprises while they are doing the study in the universities. So I do one in Hong Kong U, one in CTU, and then one in Hong Kong IED, and then the one in Chinese U. So I'm doing lots of these kinds of coaching and workshop. But after all the workshops to cultivate that dream, at the very last of the lectures, and usually the final presentation, I always share one thing with them, just like the sentence I share with all of you. Try to get less busy. Because once you are too busy, your dream is all sorts of numbers and getting rich or whatever thing that are in your mind. You have to free up your mind. Then you have your dream. And that dream is very genuine dream because it's out of your relaxations rather than stressful, whatever. Circumstances. Okay, so that is the dream sharing. And for scaling up, of course, I have 3 projects in the row for 2015 and then 5 more projects in 2016. So I will do that more rigorously. But again, I do that without me. I'm picking on the right people. And then starting the business and then I'm gone. I'm just having again breakfast and lunch and dinner with them.
We are over by 3 minutes, but I think it's worth it because it was so nice to hear your responses. You're now in your coffee break and networking time, so please make the most of it. Thank you for participating and for attending this session.